My name is Abdirahman Mohammed Abdiwahab. My ID number is 2116432. And my colleague is called Mohammed Ashraf bin Ponan, and his ID number is S2128251. And today we are presenting our group assignment, which is entitled Estimation of Obesity Levels Based on Eating Habits and Physical Condition. So what is obesity? Obesity, according to the WHO, is the excessive accumulation of fat that puts the health of an individual at risk. And we have also an estimate from WHO, the World Health Organization, which says 1 in 3 people are overweight and 1 in 10 are obese.
We proceed to analysis goal. We aim to analyze and understand the attributes related to obesity levels in the individuals involved in the dataset. The second one is to suggest suitable precaution and advice for a person with obesity based on his or her diet, habits, and lifestyles. Third one is to offer early detection of obesity levels in order to prevent further complications, especially for those who are older in age. For the analysis data, this study includes data regarding the levels of obesity in individuals from Mexico, Peru, and Colombia who range in age from 14 to 61 and have a variety of eating and physical attributes. The set of attributes are classified into 3-column families: eating habits, physical condition, and personal information. For dataset description, the features collected in this dataset are variables that can help assess the obesity levels of a person based on their eating habit and physical condition. There are in total of 17 variables, which consist of binary, nominal, and also intervals variable.
So the sample of our data, how did we collect our data? Our data was collected using a web platform with survey where anonymous users were answering questions. Okay, so 23% of our current dataset was collected directly from the users through the web platform, while 77% of the data was generated synthetically using Weka tools, and the smooth filter was used. Okay, and the reason why the 77% of the data was generated synthetically is because most of the data we were getting, the data set we were having were unbalanced. Most of the data was about people who are normal, and but people who are either who are having insufficient weight, or who are overweight, or people who are having obesity type 1, type 2, type 3, who are not represented sufficiently in the data. Therefore, we had to generate some data sets synthetically for those other categories.
For metadata, there are several adjustments that need to be done. So for several variables, we need to change the level of the variables from nominal to binary, because in that variable, there's only 2 types of input.
In this part, we'll be exploring univariate analysis. Univariate analysis is a type of analysis where we are trying to analyze one variable. We are looking at the distribution of data within that variable. We're trying to find out patterns within the variable, and if there are any outliers, we will try to detect them. So for example, in the first chart here, you can see is the distribution of the FAVC variable. FAVC variable is the frequent consumption of a high caloric food. So if participants frequently consume high caloric food, then they will probably respond yes, which is the answer for most of the participants in this survey, while no is if the participants feels that they do not consume high caloric food frequently. So you can see the distribution. The next one is the distribution of the FCVC, which is the frequent consumption of vegetables. You can see you can have a look at the distribution of the data. Most of the data is concentrated here at number 2 and number 3, while the other numbers, there are few participants. Next, we'll be looking at the bivariate analysis. Bivariate analysis tries to see the relationship between two variables. Okay, the distribution of data within two variables. For example, here, weight and obesity level, we're trying to see the relationship between weight and obesity level. By just quickly looking at the data, we can see that patients with obesity type 2 and obesity type 3 have higher weight than other uh, uh, categories of obesity, other levels of obesity. If you look at the physical activity and obesity level, you can see that people who have less weight, okay, people who have insufficient weight and normal weight, they usually have higher physical activity than other people with other types of obesity. Okay, people who have obesity type 3 have the lowest level of physical activity.
So now we'll explore multivariate analysis. The first one is the formula of BMI to determine whether someone is obese or not, include the weight and height. Thus, as the weight increases, the value of BMI also increases. The next one is this line graph is plotted to observe the weight of each individual according to their age. This plot is useful to capture older person with obesity as they are riskier to get heart attack and other related diseases. From this multi-line graph showing the relationship between frequency of physical activities and weight sorted according to the obesity, we can conclude that higher frequency of physical activity can lead to better BMI indexes. Now we want to explore multivariate analysis but with no clear pattern of fluctuation. For example, this one we show the water intake against weight. We can see that the data fluctuate everywhere. And this we plotted weight against height by using the mode of transportation. And this one using alcohol as consumption. And this is based on the consumption of food between meals. Next, we explore the correlation matrix above shows the value of correlation between all interval attributes. Based on the matrix, there is no correlation greater than 0.5. So no attribute will be dropped. So for conclusion, from the analysis, the dataset needs some data cleaning to deal with noisy data, irregularities, or ledger and others. From the sample and explore, we can discover hidden patterns and relationship between features and attributes in the dataset that will aid the feature selection and further data analysis later in modified model and assess step. The main goal is to create a predictive model based on person's attributes to estimate the obesity levels. So that's all. Thank you.